What's up, party people? How y'all doing, traders? Okay, Monday night I'm going to do a little whiteboard journaling session reviewing today's trades. I really enjoy journaling in this way, not staring at the charts, recreating them in my mind. Yeah, I've been really enjoying this. So, first thought that I have is trust is super important. Trusting system and trusting myself. I don't feel like I've really trusted myself. The idea of like, oh, I need to not look charts in the evening because I'm going to make bad trades. That's not really trusting myself, right? Like, not looking at charts in the evenings to preserve mental health and because I'm sharper in the morning, that's good. But I think I really need to trust myself that I'm going to make good decisions. I'm going to empower myself with, hey, you're going to make good decisions. You're going to be profitable. Do what you do. And part of that is I love my rules and I want to follow them as much as possible. I love discipline and being a mechanical robot. I think that is important. But I also think it's important to trade less coming from rules, but more with intention. The intention is to make money, and the intention is to trade high probability, right? So my feeling is that when I come into the market and my intention is I'm going to trade high probability to make money and trust myself from all the past experience. I've taken over 1,000 trades now. I have thousands of hours of chart time. I've reviewed 1,000 live trades. I've backtested thousands more trades. Trust myself with my intention that I'm going to make money and I'm going to understand what is a high probability, what is a low probability. So, intention I think is huge. What is my intention with making a trading decision? Is this a high probability opportunity to make money? Trust myself to trade with that intention rather than just be like, I'm a robot, the system says do this and do this time. Well, like, yeah, I should do those, but because I have the intention of making money and I know that probabilistically these things are a good way, these things give me a good chance at doing that. So, let's look at April has started. It's April 3rd. Remember my April goals was trade a high win rate. Okay? 2 to 3 plus R a week, 10 plus R a month, and passive funding challenge. So these are really different intentions than I had before in prior months, and I want consistent income. If I have consistent income, there's just way less stress, and also it's going to be way easier to pass these funding challenges rather than trying to hit a home run every month. I'm trying to get away from that. So, results so far, it's only April 3, okay? So it just started, but guess what? I already passed the funding challenge. Now, what I passed was a free trial challenge that I only had a 5% profit target, so that was very doable. But I did it. It already happened April 3rd. So I went and I signed up for a paid challenge now. I'm throwing down $1,000 for a chance at a $200,000 account, which is really like a $16,000 account because you get 80% of 20,000, but you don't even get that. You get to trade with the profits of I get a $16,000 trading account if I get 8R and then 4R, but I'm risking 1,000 and I need 12R and then I get a 16R with the trading account. Seems like a good deal, and also it's less variance. So my goal is to start stacking these funding accounts. 2 of them with 400,000 with True Forex funds, and then 400,000 with FTMO, and then maybe something else. But that's going to be sufficient capital. But okay, And then I've taken 4 trades in April in my live account. I have 3 wins, 1 loss. I have 1.1 RR with a 75% win rate. I'm up plus 2 R on the week. It's Monday. Now, I can go down from here, but clearly this is what I'm looking for. I'm achieving my results so far. 75% win rate on 4 trades. And my winners are slightly bigger than my losers. That's something I could work on, but I'm happy with that. If the week ended now, it would be a decent week. But I see no reason to stop trading when there's opportunities. So why have I achieved this results? Well, for one reason, it's just random chance. Okay, maybe I'm getting lucky, but I think all the combined experience and the intention and the trust I'm putting in myself and my system is going to start to manifest good results. Remember, my last month, paper trading was quite good. So I expect if I'm paper trading well, the following month I should live trade well. All these things I'm doing to reduce my stress and so on. Now, I've been using better signals. How am I using better signals? Because I'm seeking confluence across BTC and ETH and across time frames, and I'm seeking confirmation being daily close. Right, I've only been entering between around 12 p.m. and 2 p.m. The candle close being at 2 p.m. when I know what the candle's going to close like. So I'm waiting for confluence. I'm using wider stops. I'm using nearer TP, but I haven't even hit any TP to be honest. To make this, I just exit on trigger. Like I got exit triggers and I left. I'm out. Right, exit trigger. I'm out. So I'm just want to keep this up throughout the month, throughout the week, and good things can happen. It's possible at the end of the month I get my 10R and I pass some funding challenges. So that's the goal, and I'm not just trying to pass one challenge. I'm trying to pass all of them, and yeah, I need to think about how to link them all together if I want to trade them all as one. Like, this is why jumping through all the hoops of getting funded, you really want to be very consistent. So it makes sense for me to trade in a way where I'm going to be very consistent, and I really like what I'm seeing from myself and my system so far. Starting the month off with 3 wins and a loss. I think last month I had 5 wins, 25 losses. Clearly it's a small sample, but something seems to be working. So, I want to look at those trades. You know, I lost. I'm going to review AUD, GBP, Euro, but I think I'm going to continue to focus on Bitcoin and ETH. If I see something I really like, I might take it. I had a winning NASDAQ trade to end the last month. I'm not really that interested in trading indices. Just from watching them, I find them to be sort of hard to trade. They're herky-jerky. The signals that I use aren't super good. Sweeps aren't that reliable. And the risk-reward isn't super good. If I wait for higher time frame signals, you know, I have like a 3R swing trade that takes a week. Like, if I see an opportunity I like, I might take it. But I have an edge with Bitcoin and ETH, so I'm going to stick with that as much as can. And with Forex, I started off really good at paper trading, but I think to a degree I was just getting lucky, and I need more time to observe and practice and study with those things. Whereas Bitcoin and ETH, I've been trading them for a year. Like, I feel like I really understand their personalities and how they like to move. So let's start off by looking at those. So Bitcoin, I had a winning Bitcoin short and a winning ETH long, and I covered it a good area. So what I did well, and 3 times I failed to do this at the end of the last month, in the last 2 weeks of March, where I'm in a winning short, we sweep the lows, I don't exit, and then we end up stopping me up. This time, and that's a triple loss because I don't realize the profit, I take a loss, and I miss out on a winning long. So today, I was prepared for that, I had visualized, I had journaled, I knew that if I changed just that one thing, that would probably be enough to be profitable. I did it today, so I'm super happy. I can celebrate that. It's not about the money, it's about the process. And I trust myself to do that. So Bitcoin and ETH, both interesting, where we built a base on base or a range within a range at the top of a range. And so, well, first of all, like almost all the higher time frame signals, if everything is long, like the dollar on the monthly is down, Bitcoin on the monthly is up, ETH on the monthly is up, indices on the monthly are up, foreign currencies on the monthly are up. I prefer to trade upwards, but I'll take whatever signal. So Bitcoin, I'm just going to draw the current range. We're in open space. So I believe we swept the high like a couple times. We didn't quite sweep the low of the range. Hang on, I think we swept the high like 3 times. We came down, just barely didn't sweep the bottom. Immediately came up, swept the high again. Swept the low. Came up, swept the high again. Swept a low. Made a high, swept that high. So this is where I went short. So I went short because we swept the weekly, we swept the daily. Okay, so I have a short signal on the daily, I have a short signal on the weekly. Now for ETH, at the same time, what was ETH doing? ETH similar, looked almost the same. What was different about ETH is that we didn't sweep the high. But it's looking similar where, okay, well we didn't sweep the high of the week yet, but we did sweep the previous day. Now, ETH BTC locally was doing something like this, where mean reversion's a big thing. This was ETH BTC. And then BTC.D is doing something like, we went into an area where we rejected before, and then we're starting to do this. So to me, at the time, ETH BTC, we have a long on ETH. We have a short on Bitcoin. And we have a we've got a weekly short on Bitcoin, we've got a daily short on Bitcoin, we've got a daily short on ETH. Great. However, oh yeah, and also if we look at DXY is doing something like coming down, and it looks like it maybe might want to go up. Although DXY is the least reliable indicator that I'm using here. But ideally, everything's confluent. The longer term trend is more important, but if I'm going for these higher probability trades, it does mean that while I'm trading on the high time frame, I'm also exiting quickly. So I'm not going to hold all these trades for that long. If I get the move that I'm looking for, I may just exit. So what happens? I take my short and I put my stop up here, and price comes down on both Bitcoin and ETH, but what does it do? It breaks down, and it sweeps 1, 2, 3 lows here, like 2 lows. It sweeps like this and comes back in. Now, it didn't take the lows of the range, which was my ideal target. And we had another area over here which I would love for price to come down here when I'm in my short, but same thing with ETH, as we just swept a low of the day and started coming back. So we have this range on top of a range, and now after, it doesn't have to happen, but probabilistically, if we have a day like Bitcoin where we sweep 3 levels, that is for sure a long. And we have a day on ETH where we sweep a level, and it's showing relative strength. Actually, it swept 2 levels. That's a long signal. So I am long in here now, and I closed one of the ETH trades. I ended up reopening it, so that's one of the wins. I'm flat in one, but I have my 3-to-1, right? 3 wins, 1 loss. And I opened up a funding challenge, and I took this funding challenge, this ETH long. Now, what happened with DXY down here, which I don't necessarily love. It came up, it swept all these highs, and then came down and was kind of sweeping the lows. But I don't know, it's kind of bearish. Like on the monthly, there's no reason to think it's gonna necessarily have a strong reversal. Just something small. Come on. Okay. Okay. So on a lower time frame, we had a high that got swept. We came up. Well, I don't want to draw it on a lower time frame right now. I have my stop under the low. I have my stop within the low in my funding challenge. I'm going to trade that slightly more aggressively. We could sweep again. It wouldn't be unreasonable. Another thing that I'm doing that I'm liking so far is taking market entries. Now, this is another thing about trust, is trusting myself. Like, I forbade myself from doing market entries out of not trusting myself. And I had maybe reason to not trust myself, as I was taking bad, impulsive market entries. The problem is not market entries. The problem is being impulsive and undisciplined. I need to be disciplined, and I need to trust myself to use market entries. What I like about market entries, so a problem with limit entries, well, back to the goal. The goal is to be very consistent, right? I want to be a high win rate trader. I want to win 75% of my trades, or however many, and I want to do that consistently, day over day, week over week. Although I'm happy with 50% with a 2-to-1 R, something like that's fine too. Although 50% with a 3R would be good, 75% with a 1.5 R, all these would be good. Point is just I want to be consistent. Where was I going with this? I kind of forgot. Yeah, market entries. So, say that my win rate, okay, I'm getting a signal, right? I'm waiting for confirmation on the signal. I got confirmation on the signal. I know this is a high probability signal. There's 75% chance it's going to make a strong move in one direction. I want to be a part of that move. Now, if I just market enter with a wide stop, I don't know what my risk reward is, but 75% of the time I'm going to be part of that move. Now, let's say that I'm using a really aggressive limit entry that is only going to retrace to 75% of the time. Now, out of 4 trades, I'm going to miss one of those entries if it would be a winner, but I'm going to get filled if it would be a loser. So, my win rate's going from 75% to 66%. And I'm proving, now it could be worse. Say that actually my limit only fills half the time. Now I'm going from, I took 4 trades. I might only get filled on one winner and one loser. So my win rate drops from 75% to 50% using limit orders, right? So using a market order after getting a signal is to ensure that I get to participate in that signal. And since my goal is not about risk reward per trade right now, but consistent income and consistent winners, I want to participate in all those winners. And it requires trusting myself to look at the chart and say, well, we might not retrace here, and I got my signal. I want to be a part of this trade. And I value, rather than the perfect entry, I value participating in this trade. So I'm going to participate, and I'm going to enter. So I'm happy with that so far, and I don't think it's a slippery slope. I don't think it's anything wrong. You got to trust yourself as a trader. I need to trust myself to use the tools available. But just with the intention of I'm going to trade high probability setups. This is a high probability setup to me, especially if I run my stop wide. Anything can happen, but we just swept these lows. Bitcoin swept 3 lows. ETH swept some lows. Bitcoin dominance looks kind of toppy. ETH BTC is moving up. Let me get long ETH. Let me do it with reasonable risk in my live account, and let me also start a funding challenge and participate in my funding challenge. So that's what I did, that's what I'm doing, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. But if I can keep doing what I'm doing, I'm starting the month off great. That was my intention, was I really want to start the month off with some winners, 3 winners, 1 loser. If I can keep that up, and I've taken 4 trades in 3 days. If I can end the month, if I end the month with 40 trades and I have 30 winners and 10 losers, I'll be up 20R on the month. That would be insane. I would pass my funding challenges and make a fuck ton of money in my live account. So even with small risk. So I'm super happy with my performance so far. I'm really happy with my work. I trust myself. I trust my system. I trust my signal, and yeah, I'm going to continue to focus on ETH BTC and study the Forex pairs. So I guess this is an opportunity to study the Forex pairs a little bit and look at them. Because I had 3 winners. I had 2 winners on a Bitcoin short. The 2 winners were I had 2 shorts in here, separate trades. 1 winner on ETH long, and I have to consider add-on as its own individual trade, because I actually added risk to the situation when I put that on. And yeah, I want to be able to evaluate trades by their individual merit. I had a loss on AUD, and it just went straight up. I was totally wrong. If I had taken the counter position, although this, all the indices did something like this. Where on the weekly, they're under a key level on the weekly. Every single one of them on the daily did something like sweep these lows and then aggressively just rip higher. So, I went short in here, and it moved initially in my favor. But if I had logged on in the evening or the afternoon and trust myself that that's okay, that I can do that, to not to put on new trades but to monitor the trades I'm in, and I would see that we just swept these lows, and that's a signal to get out. I don't need to trade long there, but that is a signal to get out, and I could have cut that trade. But yeah, they're all in an interesting place where I still would like to kind of wait to trade them, where most of them swept yesterday's high, which could be a short signal tomorrow, which I can evaluate. But I really want to see them take this weekly liquidity over here, where they're like underneath it, and they're sweeping underneath it. I really want to see, AUD actually did this, but GBP and EU have not. I really want to see them sweep this and come back in. But I also think I just need more experience trading these, and I want to refine my system a bit on paper trading and just observe their price day by day. But yeah, I probably shouldn't have shorted until this liquidity is cleared, and also I'm trading against the monthly trend, so it's probably better to focus on the longs, and the shorts that I take need to be super high probability setups. But I also want to think about having a second entry window, possibly on certain days for Forex pairs, because I feel like a lot of the time the signal's super late, but it's fine, I don't need to trade them. I haven't been doing well aside from a couple great EU winners, but yeah, a couple huge fucking winners that I started with, but yeah, I'm okay observing them a little bit more, but I'm just focusing on what's working in Bitcoin ETH. So much love, peace, and talk to you guys soon. Let's get it.